Don't you think that they need the Champions League's money here? I think so. I think they need that. I think that's a good answer, isn't it?
I'll tell you one thing, proud of my Rangers, but the only thing that annoys me about the whole game, if I look at the whole game in a whole, is Rangers didn't start half well, Simon. The first minute we had a wee chance, we can't cut it back, and then we died. But I'll tell you one thing, Simon, I seen one thing in that game that really made me proud of my Rangers, and I love my Rangers.
That's what we like. We like a hard man.
Yeah,
and I remember guys like Terry Hurlock,
my pal,
Ian Ferguson.
Exactly, we've not got it.
We don't.
Well, folks, welcome to the channel tonight. I hope you are all doing well. My face will pop up in a wee second. Hope you are all doing good. You know, we should be all happy after last night's performance. You know, it was good waking up with a European win, especially, you know, in a knockout stage. Yes, we didn't qualify, but winning in Europe it's good. You know, flying the flag for Scotland, not like some teams that blab their mouths in press conferences and say that you know, Celtic should have went all out to win the game. Like, we're playing a Bundesliga outfit who only lost once this season at home, and that was against Bayern Munich. Look where Rangers finished in the Europa League, and look where Celtic finished in the Europa League. Danny Rowell has some neck coming on trying to criticise Celtic and do all the talk saying that Celtic are this is why they're third in the league, we're second, and all this crap. Honestly, I honestly can't wait to play them on Sunday now and hope we can beat them. My concerns about Sunday is that the final third, players in the final third. Do you go with Iheanacho? Do you go with Damu? Or do you go with Maeda up front? Let us know in the comments. Hello to everyone over on Facebook and YouTube as well. All I'm asking is subscribe to the channel if this is your first time coming across it on Facebook. See what I have to say. If I interest you, go over to YouTube and subscribe. However, to anyone over on YouTube, hello to you. Hope you are doing good. Let me know how the sound is as well. Is it crystal clear? Because I had to root my microphone out of retirement to feel like there's a better audio, because, you know what, we want to take these videos to the next level. So how are you all feeling going into Sunday? Let me know in the comments. We'll get you our starting lineup as well, predictions. Look, hopefully Araujo is available for Sunday. Celtic stayed overnight in Germany last night. They flew home this morning, so it means that they have a good sleep in them. Preparations, obviously, be a light training session tomorrow, and then we'll see who starts centre back on Sunday. Will it be Dane Murray? Will it be Kieran Tierney? Will it be Benjamin Arthur? What I seen last night, I would probably go Dane Murray. I thought he was absolutely immense last night. The blocks, reading the game, his distribution of the ball, you know, especially with set pieces, the defending the corners, I thought he was immense. And then Sinisalo, it's simple as it is. You start him. And I know it's giving Martin O'Neill a headache, but I've seen other people saying today, oh, it might cause the void in the changing room if he goes with Sinisalo. That's nonsense. Sinisalo came out and said there's 16 years between Kasper Schmeichel and Sinisalo, that he looked up to Kasper Schmeichel, but you could see that Kasper Schmeichel was trying to motivate Sinisalo on last night on the sidelines, and look, it paid off. 4 big saves in the game, a clean sheet away from home. Can't complain. So Rubber Ducky, as always, come on the hoops. Come on the hoops to you, Rubber Ducky 67. I said I'd pop on for about 40 minutes tonight. Not too much. Okay, the understudy needs to get the thumbs up this weekend. I just think we have a dodgy keeper if we're playing with Schmeichel. Simple as. I think the clean sheet last night and that performance last night has enough to say to Martin O'Neill, right, we're going into this derby game on Sunday with no room for error. Midfield, I've been thinking about it all day today. Do you go with Oxlade-Chamberlain since he's been rested because he wasn't eligible to play the game? Do you go with Benjamin Negrin, but Negrin doesn't do the nitty-gritty work. Yeah, he's scored 18 goals this season, but he doesn't do the tracking back and, getting stuck in and being physical, which is my concern, to be honest, which is Rio Atate was brutal last night, but what I learned about Rio Atate was he was taking the ball from the defenders, coming back and taking the ball, like the Callum McGregor role. He was playing deep. So last night it was like 4-2, 4-2-3-1. That was like the formation we were playing last night. McKeown was pushing up. Then you obviously seen Yang playing on the right, Maeda on the left, and then Adamiu up front. Adamiu, I just don't rate him. I'm sorry, folks. I just don't see much from Adamiu. And I've seen people today online saying I'd start Adamiu. Nah. What, because you provide assist in the first 20 seconds of the game? Nah. So he hasn't lived up to the hype. I know there's a lot of football to be played until the end of the season, but when you got to Ibrox, you got to have full faith in your attacking players, and Maeda, I think I'd start Maeda up front. I know he's not the player. He's not even a shadow of the player that he was last year when he scored 31 goals. They're not going to go 3-5-2. I don't think they will, to be honest with you. St. Mary's Parish in Coatbridge. Tierney, Scales, and Murray, Sarachi left. Araujo, Roy. I don't think he's going to go with 3 at the back. I know he's played 3 in the back in the past. Thanks for the love on Facebook, whoever that is. Francis McCann, thank you very much. If you could go over and subscribe to the YouTube channel, free of charge. Trying to get the numbers up here. Busy night tonight. It's a big lift going into the game, because if we got beaten last night after the way we were beaten against Hibs, I would be negative. I'm not going to lie, I would be going this game negative. But the way Danny Rowles after blabbering his mouth, Martin O'Neill was taken back in the press conference today when he heard the comments. As he said, he's not living in Glasgow long enough. Should be respecting each other's managers, regardless of the rivalry. Obviously, Martin O'Neill talked well about Walter Smith and stuff like that. Danny Rowles just a con merchant. The guy's never won a proper trophy as a manager. He thinks that you can talk the talk. He's as bad as Michael Beale. He's bad as Lord Voldemort, Philippe Clement. Gives them the right to talk bad about Celtic, saying, "Oh, I'm surprised they didn't go for the game and go out and try score more goals." We scored early in the game. We defended. We're playing against a really good outfit in the Bundesliga, a team that's 4th in the league. They've only lost once at home this season. It's against Bayern Munich. It just boggles my mind that he thinks he has the right to talk about our players and changes and stuff like that. Yes, that's something that you do with your coaching staff or with your team behind the scenes. You don't go out to the media and live it all up. Look, actions speak louder than words. That's the phrase. We go out there on the weekend and do the talking on the pitch. I've never wanted to beat Rangers so much than ever now. Even though I hate them, I despise them. I hate their fans. I hate their so-called, they think they have a history. They don't have a history. The shithole of a stadium. Everything about them. But because they think that they're entitled to win the league this year, they think they already have the league wrapped up. The fans are going, online they think they have a won because they beat Hearts. Did they forget that Hearts beat them twice this season? And then Hearts beat Celtic as well. Hearts are in a better place than Rangers are. Maybe because Rangers were actually shite at the start of the season. Celtic ain't great at the moment, folks. But I'll tell you one thing. It was a good lift last night. It was a good performance last night. And I think with the likes of Sarachi, he has to play the weekend. Araujo, if he's fit, he has to play. I'll be playing Donovan ahead of Ralston on Sunday if Araujo's not fit, because I just honestly have no faith in Ralston. Ralston last night was so hot and cold when he came on. He just doesn't have the pace. He's a good physical player, but sometimes players just go past him like he's not even there, you know? Is a point good enough on Sunday? No. I'm going to go out and win it. If you want to win the league, you'll win every game for the remaining. Fuck Ibrox. Fuck the occasion. Let's go out and play our own football. We'll have our fans in the corner. Let's go out and do that. Because let's not go down to their level. Let's not go down to level. Yes, they have John Beaton as their cheerleader in the middle of the pitch. And then you have Vard as their fix-a-lot. I wouldn't be surprised to be a penalty, but I honestly believe that Celtic can go out. I don't know if we have the firepower up front to get goals, but I think we can get from midfield like an Egrin or even a McCown or even just test Butland. Butland's not the keeper he once was. Test Butland from outside the box like Callum McGregor did at Hampden. Test him, you know. Do your talking on the pitch and you'll be able to... That's it. We'll see. We'll see on Sunday. It's crazy that you have like Rangers fans coming on to my podcast. I'll take the view. Makes me money. But you know what? He's a second in the league. He's going on like he's achieved something by being second in the league, the way Danny Roll went on today. It's not over to the fat lady sings. And there's going to be a lot of twists and turns, as Martin O'Neill said, in this title race. And don't forget as well, Motherwell have to play us again as well. Motherwell like a game against us. Remember Agent Welch? I remember he's a couple of weeks ago. I honestly can't wait to play us. And I won't be eating my words because I'm actually confident that we can actually get something against us. It's just the stubbornness, the way you think he's are self-entitled, you know? Some Celtic fans think they're self-entitled. But I think a lot of Celtic fans have woke up to the mess this season, how bad the club has been ran. Speaking of clubs being ran, did Rangers vice chairman step down today? They're in a bit of a mess as well. You know? We've heard it all before. Exactly. They've won one league in the last fucking 10 years. Fucking, they think they're God's gift. Fuck them. We're going out on Sunday. And we're going to war on Sunday. We're going to war. And whoever wins the midfield battle, we will see. Do they have decent players? Of course they do. But we have players that have tasted the success, that have gone there and pumped them. There's players there that have won trebles, won doubles. Rangers don't have that. They've never won doubles or trebles in their existence since 2012. You know? Go on, like, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Look, it's a good win last night, but you get like, I just want to remind John Bell as well. You don't like, if you won 1-0 against Stuttgart last night, you'd be going on like he's won the fucking Champions League. You would be. I'm just gonna put the facts to you. Since you claim that you always represent Scotland, where did you finish in the Europa League? Fourth. -9 goal difference. Jesus. No, Celtic finished with -2, but like, come on. 11 points. 11 points. These Celtic was flying the flag last night, and Celtic were flying the flag as well in the Champions League last year, playing against the best teams. I remember the last time Rangers were in the Champions League. Remember they got pumped and he finished bottom of the group. Remember Liverpool beat them, what was it, 6 or 7, 7-1 or 7-0 at Ibrox? Shy. Absolute shy. I know Dortmund hammered Celtic, but come on. You finished at bottom of the group. Bottom of the group. I think it was like 0 points. Oh, well, we'll see on Sunday. It's form goes out the window, I think, at times, because it's about the hunger. It's about the drive. Yes, Celtic will be underdogs on Sunday. No question about it, folks. But if they want to make it happen, the way I always say it is make or break for Celtic on Sunday. Celtic lose this game, they're out of the title race. If they draw, they're not out of the title race. But we need a win. We really need to win to make a statement. We still have that game in hand against Aberdeen, which isn't a guarantee, folks. It doesn't guarantee you're going to win that game in hand. Because, yeah, fair enough, Aberdeen are 8th in the table and they have lost their last 3 games. But You're playing against Aberdeen. They'll be up for it. They always like playing against the Glasgow teams, you know. Need to remember how bad they were. Of course, they do need to remember how bad they are, because, you know, they're second in the league. They beat Hearts, but they fucking think they've won the league already. Like, that type of cockiness doesn't get you anywhere in football. As I said, Beale talked the shy. Clermont, I remember when Celtic drew 3-3 with them at Ibrox, and they were celebrating with the fans like they won the fucking Champions League. Paddy Power done a great segment on that as well. A great segment on it. I think Rangers and Hearts don't realise, with Celtic losing 7 games, still being in a title race, how bad they actually are. 100%, that's a great point. It is a great point, you know. Does that give Martin O'Neill a headache for Sunday with the lineup, do you think? Sinisalo has to start. Araujo has to start if he's fit. If not, Donovan. Tierney left back. Scales, Murray, McGregor, McKeown, Chamberlain, Negrin on the right ahead of Yang, because Negrin's not gonna do well in that midfield, to be honest with you. He doesn't have the physicality in regards to battling in the midfield, especially in a derby like that. Have him on the right wing, Maeda on the left, and then you start Big Tom. I was thinking Maeda through the middle, but Maeda on the left, and then Big Tom. Or you can go with Maeda in the centre and then play maybe Yang on the left. Look, it's a headache for a lot of fans. Do you go 3-5-2? Do you go 4-2-3-1? Doesn't matter what we predict as fans. When the team comes out at 11:15 on Sunday, we'll know who's starting. Simple as. You know, Tierney was rested. Scales was rested. Do you go in a Nacho up front? The guy doesn't have much. His fitness issues is a concern for me. Like, I thought Donovan played amazing. Yeah. You know, like, I put up a post today across my social media, across the Commando Hoops and Instagram, of a picture of Rio Atate in an ice bath with Jota at Ibrox. And you could see the delight on Rio Atate's face. He looked absolutely ecstatic. And now Rio Atate barely smiles. Barely smiles. Just looks like he's a grumpy shite with his gum shield in. You know, when he takes it out, he still looks like he's just fed up. Some people were saying he played all right last night. I thought he played poor. Personally, I thought he played poor last night. I thought Donovan played really well, you know. For the first time, keep Maeda for defending, which would have to do. Of course, Maeda has to do the nitty-gritty work. The same way, like, this is like, yet Negrin's played in that pocket of 3, but Negrin doesn't have it in him to be the battling in that midfield. Honestly, I just don't think it. So you could play McKeown, you play Chamberlain, you play McGregor. You know, Chamberlain will give you that attacking option as well. And then you can play Negrin on the right. And then you can bring Taneki on or whoever. You know, but I hope everyone's doing all right. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm just trying to get as much subscribers from this podcast as I can. Let us know how the sound is as well. Is it much better than what I'm usually doing when I'm talking to the webcam? You can all hear me perfect. But is it a bit better? Let me know. Let me know. I'm going to put out my starting lineup anyway. We're going to do formations and players and all that and have a yes or a no anyway. I generally think he will drop Sinisalo. I'm telling you this right now. If he drops Sinisalo on Sunday, we're going to lose the game. We're going to lose the game. I have no confidence in Kasper Schmeichel's ability. I've no confidence in Kasper Schmeichel's coming for a ball in a cross, coming for a ball when it comes to a corner, you know, barking orders, his distribution of the ball, diving on his left shoulder. Rangers will exploit that. Honestly, they will exploit that. They'll take shots on, you know. Sound is fine. Good. I'm glad the sound is fine. You know, remember this jersey. Adamida. Maida needs to find his pushing and his pressing again. Fuck knows what'll happen this season with him. Well, okay, he was the player of the season last year with 31 goals. That's last year. He just needs a goal to lift his spirits. He hasn't scored since January. His head's up his arse. Simple as. His head is up his arse. And as I was listening to someone earlier on, Martin O'Neill must be having that talk with these players and saying, well, if you want a medal, if you're on loan at Celtic and you want to get a move to Celtic, you got to earn the love from the fans. You got to earn your place. You got to make history. And see the likes of Adamu and so-called Mavuka and Tam and Sarachi and Arajo. Like, I know Sarachi and Arajo, there's no option to buy these guys. But you go in the summer and you ask the question. You'll ask the question. I know Bournemouth were probably looking at him saying, well, look, he's playing all right. So, let me see, right? This is not the way it's going to line up, by the way. I'm just fiddling around. So, I'm going to put that there. McGregor like that. Kind of like a diamond. It's the way the team is. Some people are saying 3-5-2. We will talk about the 3-5-2. But, Sinisalo. Right. Can you all see that screen okay? Is the screen okay? Let us know. Because sometimes it looks a bit smaller than normal. It's a little, I'll zoom it in a little bit for you so you can see a little bit better. Last 2 years at Ibrox, can't even remember the Chamber of Secrets. Oh, look, we haven't been great at Ibrox in the last couple of years. One of the most favorite Celtic jerseys. Yeah, a lot of fans were against this jersey when it first came out. I was one of them, the snakeskin, but you know, grew, and I actually say good memories in it. Matt O'Reilly obviously scoring 19 goals in it as well. We'll go into the squad anyway while I'm here. So the team I would prefer. Now, people saying Tierney for centre back. Tierney has to start on Sunday. Tierney, if he's getting, once his money's made of 50 grand a week, he's got to turn up at the big games and show why he's a boyhood Celtic fan. And you know, we've seen Tierney in the past in his first time at Celtic, the passion after beating them at Ibrox, getting stuck in, not fearless. Hope we will get a bit of that of Tierney on Tierney on Sunday. So Dame Murray, Scales will start. You could play Tierney centre back and have Sarachi left back. I don't think he will. I'd like to see McGregor pushing up, but he's going to play McGregor in that holding slot. McKeown. I thought McKeown's link-up play with Yang yesterday was fantastic, but I think Negrin has the goals. You have to play Negrin. You could bring Negrin off the bench. You know, Negrin's left foot, folks. So even when he was playing for Notchland and Sweden, preferably used to play on the right hand side anyway. Me heart's saying Maeda up front, but my head's saying that he won't play him up front. So I'm gonna have a look at the comments in a second, folks. See what they're saying. That's a team I go for. Let's zoom this out a little bit. That would be my team on Sunday. See what people think. See in the comments. Oh, if there's people in here giving the all the sectarian or the show you back to each other, I'll just block it. Simple. We're here to talk about football. We're not here to be respectful towards each other. That's all I can say. Just waiting for these comments to load. Just want to check this now. I think Rangers and Hearts don't realise. I think I looked at that comment already. Stephen, how are you getting on, Stephen? Hope you're well. Doing good. Roll's record is pretty poor for Glasgow teams. Played 29, won 17, drew 6, lost 6. His Sheffield Wednesday stats are awful. Won 134, drew 17, and lost 24. And they gave Celtic shit for the cheap appointment. This guy's never won a trophy as a manager, and they're giving. Look at this. Is Julian fit? Hopefully, he will be fit for the weekend. I'd say it'll be a light training session tomorrow, and we'll see what happens with him. Everyone Celtic, get away with you, Mike, you bleeding weirdo. Like that type of shit, like that doesn't get you anywhere, Mike, in life. I agree. Solid, to be fair. After Murray's performance on yesterday, it's hard to see it. I don't think Arthur's going to get into the side. And I know people are talking him up because what he said in his interview, he's like, oh, I'm kind of like a Virgil van Dijk player. You know, I looked up to him and the way he take the ball up and all that stuff. But you can't really do that in these derby games at times where you take the ball up and make a run for it. Why would you not start Yang? Yang has been brilliant. But I just think domestically, Negrin has the goals because I don't have full confidence in Big Tam. That's the reason why I wouldn't start Yang. I think, look, Yang has done nothing wrong at all. Is either you go with Negrin and Yang on the left and bring Maeda off the bench, or start Maeda, could be an option. So maybe just 2 seconds. Put Maeda there. And go like that, hey? Would you like that, Derek? Would that be more of your team? Would it be? As I said, I don't have the confidence in Negrin being doing the physical nitty-gritty work the weekend. Don't get me wrong. He's great at pushing up forward and scoring some bangers of goals, but you need to have the whole package when you're going into these derbies. You be mentally strong as well. You know, the last time we went to Ibrox with Martin O'Neill was back in the 24th of April 2005. Stilian Petrov scored that day, and Craig Bellamy, who was on loan from Newcastle, scored an absolute banger. Kyrgiakos didn't have a clue what went past him. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Need Maeda for the defending. This is the thing, like that's the concern, is the problem with the forward line. Like Iheanacho doesn't really have it. You know, Adamu doesn't really have it. You know, to be honest with you, I hope I'm eating my words up and one of these guys start the game and they score. You score. I just feel a bit more confident about the game than I was on Monday or Tuesday. I just think after that result last night, I just think there is a bit of morale in the team. You know, Martin O'Neill touched on what do you mean the lack of confidence. We've won out of 36 points. We've actually earned 31 points, gained 31 points. Yeah, we lost the Hibs, drew a game or two, but you know what? This is the best occasion to do it. So people are saying 3-5-2, right? Let's go into the 3-5-2, right? Or 3-5-2. See, where's our 3-5-2? Just go for this for a second, right? Here we go. Right. I would put Tierney in there. Arajo, Murray, Scales, Tierney. Right. Negrin. You know what? Just thinking of this now. McGregor's going to be holding there. Have it like that. Probably play McCown actually there. Negrin there, Yang there. But see, you need Sriracha. That's the thing. You need Sriracha. So maybe drop the Ox. Go with Sriracha. So you have that pushing assets. Maybe like that. Except I'll change it around. So you know what? That's actually not a bad team. I'll put Negrin in there. And then the two up front. So you could go with Moyeda on the left to give Tavernier problems. And then Kelechi. That's another option as well. What do you think of that team? If Araujo is fit, let me know in the comments. Yang has to start. Yang's been good, but this is the thing. Like, you're gonna have to, no hiding Tate's flattened games at times. That's it. I wouldn't even start. I wouldn't go near Tate, to be honest. Apparently, Brian Kerr and Steve Staunton are in Glasgow talks about a 3-year contract. A 3-year contract. Steve Staunton, what is this rubbish about? For who? What are they in Glasgow for? System manager? What? What a load of absolute nonsense. Steve Staunton and Brian Kerr. Whoa. Is it for the Ireland job, is it? Brian Kerr, what a legend. I like that lineup, Keith. Well, that's what I'd go for, Maybe just even don't play a striker. Just go whip the midfield. Don't have a striker, because at the end of the day, the strikers are not getting enough service. Just have a good attacking players that can get a breakthrough and hopefully get a goal. Because to be honest with you, the link-up play and the deliveries that we're giving Big Tom, he's just not living up to the heights. Like, his goal against Dundee was a cracker. Tierney's cross for that header, but I don't know. Like, will Tom make or break if he's doesn't turn up for this game at Ibrox? So that's some people are saying 3-5 or the 5 at the back. The 3-5-2, but see what happens. Kerr might do the job, in all fairness. What am I talking about Brian Kerr for? What the hell is this all about? Brian Kerr and Steve Staunton. You see, we have a problem with our choice. That's not a bad thing. I think every team Martin O'Neill puts out will be capable. It's just on the players in the day. Exactly, Paul. It's about players being hungry. It's about players wanting it. It's players that have played this occasion or won in these occasions, and players that haven't won these occasions. They should have that revenge in their minds. They should have the revenge of us getting beaten at Celtic Park in January. That should be fresh in their minds as well. O'Neill has only dropped points when Trusty was sent off twice, a draw, and then versus Hearts last week. Look, it's not bad. It's not been bad. Otherwise, O'Neill has won every game 11v11. That's a good point. That is really a good point. The thing is, Kenny got into great positions but couldn't score. Tam doesn't ever look like he's ever going to score. True. Like, he's a good holding player. Staunton. Steve Staunton was an absolute legend for Irish football. I don't know why we're talking about Steve Staunton here. Bit of a strange one, What do you make of Willie Hawley's proposal of the Celtic Fan Alliance for the season ticket holders? So if you can get 10,000 signatories, he will put 2 million into shares. And if you can get 50,000 signatories, he's going to put 10 million into shares. Now, he was obviously on the board and non-executive back in the day. I don't know too much about him. I'll be honest with you. He was before my time of supporting Celtic. And but I watched the interview we done with Go Radio. Look, it's an option. It's an option if you want to challenge the board. You need to have more. You need to have more shares to start making your voice being heard as well. 10 million quid is a lot of money. A lot of money. From someone like that. I think McCown I think he deserves to start. Look, I thought his work rate last night, especially in the first half, I thought it was immense. I thought he was, wanting the ball. He looked a bit fed up coming off because he wanted to continue on playing the game. And that's a good thing. Not like the difference with the body language between him and Rio Hatate is there. And I don't know what the problem is with Rio Hatate. Is it just his lack of hunger? Is it he's fed up on himself? Is he's aging in his ear? That's affecting his mindset, Who the fuck is Kerr? Well, I'll tell you one thing. Brian Kerr wasn't a bad manager for Ireland. We were unlucky to not qualify for the 2006 World Cup under Brian Kerr. We had a difficult group, I remember. What does your heart say for the score? And what does your head say? That's a great question, Derek. My heart says 2-1 Celtic. My head says 1-0 Celtic. I know it's still 3 points. I just think we'll beat them. I really believe we beat them. I just think they're at the dropping points. They scraped the result against Livingston. Yes, we lost at Celtic Park, but they were playing a team that was bottom of the league that were beating them 2-0 at one point. They're not a good Rangers team. Honestly, they're not a good Rangers team. Even though we're an average Celtic team at the moment domestically, I think we can go to the sword and we can do it. Kerr plays us so what? Oh mate, I do me head in by Brian Kerr. We get muted if you don't stop talking about Brian Kerr. Simple. McCown, see him. I said that when we signed him, Paul. I go back to the deadline day of 2 years ago, deadline day 2024, when we were linked with a move for Luke McCown. I was getting pelters on my channel. People were like, "Oh, would you stop? He's not good enough." Blah blah this, blah blah that. He actually was all right in his first season, and I did say at the time that he could be potentially, with his attributes, he could maybe be a Callum McGregor replacement. But look, see what happens. Stevie says, heart says 2-1, head says a draw. I don't want to draw. We all don't want to draw. Unless we go down to 10 men and we're losing 1-0 and we get a last minute equaliser, we'll be happy with that. But there's a chance that could happen, folks, because we all know he was officiating the game. Mr. Beaton is officiating the game. Now, some people say this doesn't make sense what I put up, but he's reffed this game, this fixture 8 times, and we have been dominant in some of the games. But this game that sticks out, the 3-3 game, it was just a poor referee in that day. The league game, sorry, just before the cup game. He gave Rangers a goal. Silva scored, I remember. And about 3 minutes later, he decides to review it and realised there was an actual foul on Awate during the play, and then he had to obviously take the goal away. It's just poor officiating that day. I think with him being a Rangers fan, he shouldn't be nowhere near this fixture. Simple as. Any club, whoever supports a certain club shouldn't be reffing the club that you support. Simple. But this is what happens. You get this type of shit. You get this type of stuff where he's caught an abuser literally after he robbed Celtic of an equaliser when Callum McGregor scored. Terrible. Absolutely brutal. Yeah, but plenty of our games against them, we know exactly what he's like. Well, that's it. We just have to play. We just have to be disciplined. As I always say this, if we block out the outside noise, like the likes of Raul, we could use the Raul comments as motivation. It is a hostile environment going there, no question about it. It's not like the days where we were locked out of Ibrox. We have over 3,000 fans going on Sunday, so there is going to be a bit of support in that corner. And we all remember, we go back to Odson Edwards scoring there on Mother's Day 2018 when we were down to 10 men. And they ended up stripping us of the broom long because they couldn't hack it that we were pumping them every year. That's what the problem is with them. Out for the win. F the draw. Yes, from Mr. Beaton. Shouldn't be nowhere near. But look, it is what it is, where majority of these refs are just not capable of doing their job. Simple. That's the cleanest way of saying it, you know, especially the VAR room. So as far as I know, it's Kevin Clancy and Stephen McLean in the decisions in the VAR room as well. Rest should be declared what team they support as they do in the English Premiership. 100%. Remember that there used to be this whole was it Howard? Remember the baldy ref that was in England? Remember they were claiming that he was a Man United fan in disguise, even though we support it was at Oldham or Rotherham or something like that. Something like that. But thanks very much, Paul. If you could do me a favor before you head, could you subscribe to the YouTube channel? Go over to YouTube and log on and subscribe. It's free of charge, mate. I do a lot of content there as well. I'm trying to get as much Facebook people over as I can. Just the time of the day it is, the time of the night. A lot of people are just probably watching other pods or just chilling out. Can't be arsed to listen to one person talk. How's it going, Deborah? I hope you're doing well. 2-1 on Sunday. 2-1 to the champions of Scotland. Michael McCown says Celtic going to pump them. What score are you going for, Michael? When it comes up to the game, I usually say to myself, just 2 seconds, folks. Just need to try mute this for one. I don't know if it's working. Now, what I would say going into the game on the day, your kind of attitude always changes, doesn't it? You're getting really nervous. You see them coming out and you're like, oh, what's it going to go like? Because the times where we've been confident going into these games, too confident, we get pumped. So there is that approach where you take a step back and you're like, you know what? Rangers may pay to their level, which their level is a home crowd. They want to win a title. They'll be gearing for it as well. You have to remember that as well. So Stephen says, it makes sense. If I was reffing the game, I'd try to be 50-50 to give as much as I can. If I was a ref and I was Celtic Rangers, I'd call it 50-50, getting paid a job to do what I'm meant to do. I'd take my green tints off and ref it properly, to be honest. But this is the thing, is no one who supports Celtic Rangers should be near this reffing this game. Simple. It's ridiculous. Cassie Bingo says he's on his wife's account, I think. He says, I would play Taneki. I'd bring Taneki on, super sub. I'd bring him on. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't great last night when he came off the bench. He had that chance and he just went straight at the keeper. Wasn't great at all. But yeah, let's see what we're at. Let's have a look at Sebastian Taneki's stats actually while we're here. I think he's only scored 4 goals this season. Should we talk about the opposition? Should we go into their stats and see how they're getting on? Because let's be honest, it's a game of 2 teams, and we can go on as much as we can about so. I'm on my wife's account. I had a feeling. Fair play, John. Good stuff. I hope you're well, John. Tell us where you're all tuning in from. Right. We'll talk about the opposition, because you have to talk about the opposition. This man made an absolute show of us at Celtic Park, and he hasn't been prolific for Rangers at all this season, bar scoring in the games against Hearts and Celtic. Do I think Dane Murray can handle him? I think so. Do I think Scales needs to get his finger out and put a game on? Because Scales, to be honest, in the recent times, Scales has not been great at Celtic Park. Not Celtic Park. Even at Celtic Park and at Ibrox in recent times against these. So I think Celtic will have enough, hopefully have enough to defend against this guy. But look at the rest of the squads. Fernandez, he's a decent player. You know, Raskin, it'd be a good battle between him and McGregor. McGregor needs to come out victorious. Obviously, the new sign and Olsen as well. More, very overrated. You know what? Tavernier, he's in his end days. He is probably could be his last derby at Ibrox against Celtic as well. So Suter, very stuffed, but Butland, overrated. It's crazy, isn't it? Like, this guy has 7 goals this season. Majority of them are from penalties. Shocking. You know, absolutely shocking. Just penalties. Penalties galore. But look at, you got 142 goals for the club. It's not bad. It's not bad for the guy that plays in the defensive position. But anyways, I get bored talking about them. It does mean nothing. It does mean nothing. Why am I talking about the opposition that much? Simple as, they have players that can damage us. And we have players that can damage them. But we need to step up. I know there'll be eyes on Tynecastle tomorrow as Aberdeen play Hearts, and Aberdeen, you know what, they've lost their last 3 in a row. Maybe this is the time they need to get the finger out and turn up. You know? Yeah, definitely. I think Suter lost his pace towards his final days at Hearts, to be honest with you. Agree, Taneki's poor defending. That's it. Who are they to get to replace Kyogo and Ida? Ida was good in the derby games. Kyogo still hasn't been replaced. Who do you get? I'll be honest with you, I don't really know. I would have liked to see us going for a Bowler Glint striker, but he's going to be going on to better things. Then, see, the thing about Knutson is, Knutson's been there since 2017. He's built an empire there with the wage bill, with the money that they work with. You know, they're a really good side, and it just shows. Like Neil Lennon last night trying to defend the board on Premier Sports in Ireland, trying to defend the board, saying, you know, something went wrong in the summer. I don't know if it's between Brendan and the board. So the board would have spent money if we got into the Champions League, he claims. He also claims that Scottish teams can't find it sustainable to keep their key players as well. I'll be honest with you, I love Neil Lennon, but I think he's a happy clapper for the board. I think in his mind that he still has a chance of getting that Celtic job back one day, or being on the payroll of Celtic Football Club. That's what I think about Neil Lennon. I think he was a phenomenal player for us. You know, his first term at Celtic, he done well. He came in and saved us, and one of the, you know, easy Daniel. What's this? Daniel Well. Daniel. Fans are a disgrace. What are you talking about? You're making me money, Daniel. You keep commenting, you know. Another one into the sin bin. You know, just they're all over the shop tonight. Honestly, delusional. For wanting being better, we won the league with 17 points last season. How's things? Don't mind him. Don't give in to that. That's what I think with Neil Lennon. I just think he's saying about, oh, we sold Wanyama, we sold Hooper, we sold this back in 2012. But does he not realize we failed 7 times in the space of 9 attempts to get into the Champions League? How is that good enough? How do you justify that to Celtic fans? You know, it's just, the facts is, I've said this loads of times over the last few days, the Brendan Rodgers situation, Brendan wasn't always a perfect angel himself. But if you're after taking a team to the Champions League playoff rounds, and you're after going toe-to-toe with Bayern Munich away in Germany, and you could see the goal, fair enough, in not an extra time, in added time, injury time, and you know that your players are capable to from better and be more dominant, you have the right to go on record saying we need 1 or 2 more players in the summer, and especially Celtic have money in the bank. You know, the preparations for Almaty was ridiculous. And I'm sure Brendan Rodgers in the background was saying to the board, look, I need the funds. But they weren't willing to give him funds because he wasn't going to sign a new deal. Why would you sign a new deal with a club that's not going to guarantee you the promises or guarantee you the resources you want? And you get this all the time from people. Oh, well, Brendan Rodgers got 60 million to spend. 60 million to spend in 2 seasons. It should be, because Celtic have the money in the bank, and they've made money off the likes of Keown, the likes of O'Reilly, the likes of Kyogo. Sure, right. It's not like they didn't make money on these players and they're whipping out 60 million to give them over the last 2 seasons. Like, people defend the board for that. I'm like, stop defending the board and use your eyes, you know? That's it. They're going to hoard the money. They're going to hoard the money. And as I said, if we lose the league this season and we finish the season with no trophies, I think people will have reconsideration of renewing season tickets. And I know it sounds sad, because you want to be there to support your team through thick and thin when things are going wrong. But it's the younger generation, as I said already. The younger generation are so used to, it's like normality to them of seeing trebles and doubles and smashing Rangers and winning the league by, say, 12 points, or they're not used to seeing Celtic decline as well. It's a crazy time for football fans, because some fans are fickle at times, and then some fans are just ambitious and they just want to see that team go out and, make a good account of themselves in what level, regardless of what they're playing. If it's the League Cup, if it's Europa League, Champions League, we're not expecting to go out and Celtic to win a Europa League. We're not expecting Celtic to go out and win a Champions League, but go out what they done like last night, a bit of pride, take the team, take the game to them. And if you can do it, Look at his signings, Ingles. Look at Ingles. I still think there's a player there with Ingles. Adam Ida was a good loan signing, considering all the abuse he got when he came on loan from Norwich. He scored some vital goals. And that's what we're trying to get out of Big Tom. His permanent transfer just wasn't at it. Was not at it. Some people picked up saying when he scored still scored some reasonable amount of goals. And I was like, no, I think Adam Ida I think the pressure got to Adam Ida with the price tag, to be honest. And I think he's injured at the moment, because he's only scored like 4 goals for Swansea. The board can't gamble with the fan base. This is the thing, they can't, because the fan, you know what? They probably think, well, if someone doesn't take that season ticket over, we'll have someone in the waiting list that will replace them. These are just numbers, you're just numbers, And that's the strange thing about football. Fans don't realize, as much as you put thousands into a club. I seen a picture today, right? Transfer Market put up a post on their Instagram. My mate Danny sent it to me as well. Celtic have dropped down to 20th in the world for the top selling merchandise, football merchandise. We were 17th last year, but listen to this. We finished with 34 million on sales last year in 17th place. This year, with inflation, guess where we finished? Take a guess. Just guess the figure, folks. We've dropped down 3 places. We are now 20th ranked in the world for the top jersey sales in the world. That's it. Just a bit of pride. A bit of pride. You can't win every game of football, Charlie. You know that. You can't win every game of football, but it's been such a demand now, because we're so used to success that when you get a Heat Cup, it feels like the world's ending. And this year it's been 7 defeats in the league, and I'm not gonna lie, I've said that so many times. I find it draining at times to watch Celtic this season. It has been draining on the head. And then you're going into work and you're thinking to yourself, how bad can this go? As I said, this last weekend, I did say last weekend, and and I was 90% sure last weekend if we would have dropped points against Hibs, we're out of it. And that's how I felt Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And then I'm saying now, right, you know what? A bit of hope after last night. Let's go out there and make an account for ourselves at Ibrox. All against the odds, against Beaton, against Roll, against the what do you want to call it? Hostile crowd, you know? It seems like it seems that the players can't detach from the troubles off the pitch. Look, think about it, right? Just say if you were in an office and there's bitching and arguments in an office between people and individuals on one table or another table. Would that bring your head down? Would you like to go into work thinking like that? And what's going off the pitch is obviously what's going on in the stands with the people leaving early, with the protests, with the sack the board and I want to sack the board, that chant and the clapping. Players can't really talk out about it because the board are their bosses, you know that way. But football's nothing with the fans. And we need the Green Brigade back in. I know the Green Brigade ain't everybody's cup of tea, but I will back them and say they do phenomenal charity work. They bring a bit of energy to the stadium. Because I've said it clear on this, and I don't mean to slap Celtic fans that go to the games on a weekly basis in the face, but why are you going to the game if you're going to sing for 5 minutes? There's no point. Just watch it at home. Just watch it at home. Because you're hoping for something to change. You have that hope in the back of your heart. You have that faith that you think things are going to be a great day. It's going to be a good win and it's going to turn around. I'm going to respect that, completely respect that, you know. We just, as I said, get the politics sorted. It's not good for the look of your club of having a division between the fans and the board. And maybe some people might say the division between fans. We're all Celtic fans. We all need to stick together. You know, we all stick together. I know some of us are labeled anti-establishment. Some of us are labeled happy clappers. But we're all Celtic fans. We all believe in the club. We all believe that our club should want success. And you don't get given success. You got to earn success. And when you earn success, as you say there, you need a thunder. You need to make your stadium a fortress again. You need to believe that the teams should be nervous coming to play us, not confident for like, okay, well, we're not going to get enough ball today. We'll get 30% of football and we'll look what stuck against Stuttgart. We only got about 35% in the game, but we made it happen last night. We made it happen because we digged in and we took our chance early enough. We had a good approach in Europe. We went into the game, scored early, like the early Martin O'Neill days, like when back in the 2000s. You know, straight from the whistle, get in there, get stuck in. I just feel like we're having a lot of possession in the league, and we're not doing much with it. We're not doing much to say, right, we've had 70% possession, but can't put in the back of the net. As I said, it's the ability of certain individuals in that team that don't believe that they have it. They don't have it, you know, and that's why in the summer, regardless who the manager is, you got to sit down with certain individuals and say, right, you have 3 years left in your contract. Do you want to be on this journey with me? This will be a rebuild. It's not guaranteed. And I will say to folks this next season, am I confident that we will win the league next season, regardless who's in charge? Am I confident that we're going to win a trophy next season? Probably not, because I know that we're in for a rebuild. And I will say to fans, have patience. Have patience. This season has been a write-off to some fans, but we're not out of it just yet. Next season will be a hard one. But you know what? With a rebuild similar to what Ange's done, at least you got fresh blood in. At least you got players that know what they're going against. If we win the league this year, and it's still going to be a rebuild next year because you have a new manager coming in and He'll have his style of play. And someone put on my comments about putting the comments about the Motherwell manager, and they were saying, but yeah, he's playing good football, but what has he achieved? What has he achieved? It doesn't always have to be luxuries on your CV. Some people go into jobs and do better than what whoever's been experienced before and strive. And mark my words, I'm telling you this now. You think I'm crazy? Bodo Glint and Copenhagen will be looking at him if he gets Motherwell. Maybe a top 2 or top 3 finish. Because if Knutson goes, Knutson will go. They'll be looking at someone like that. They want a Scandinavian kind of model of a manager. I think he's a good manager. He was a bit in October. I was like, this guy's only in the wet weekend. But, the form that they've turned, and they're the hottest team in Scotland at the moment, Well, that's another day talk, because there's no point talking about managers. Who's the next manager? We have someone in at the moment who's doing an alright job. And you know what? He's getting results. He's getting results out of these players in majority of games. The games that we fail in, he should be reminding these players, which we lost our hearts to down to 10 men. We lost the hips to 10 men. Games like that, like Midtjylland, he was only in the door a couple of days. I won't be worried about that. He needs to remind these players what they're playing for. They're playing for one of the biggest support clubs in the world, and that's why Celtic Football Club's DNA is out there. It's out there to compete. It's out there to represent the best fans in the world and put the shirt on and show that you're playing for a club that's won that European Cup once. That was a long time ago, but the anniversary's coming up soon. It's going to be 60 years, the anniversary. That jersey looks nice as well. That's coming out. Martin O'Neill's won 7 Glasgow derbies in a row. He knows how to win games. Well, he's only won 1 Glasgow derby. Them other ones, but you could call it Old Firm. Glasgow derby, Old Firm. Not the same thing to me. In the previous term, yeah, he was victorious as well at Ibrox. As far as I know, I was checking this up earlier on, actually. Check this up earlier on. Just want to see that I have this on. Martin O'Neill. So Martin O'Neill, his record at Ibrox, we've played there 13 times. We've won there 7. We've drawn there twice. And we've lost there 4, which is a win ratio of 54%. In the 2000 and 2001 season, we got pumped by them 5-1, and then we beat them 3-0. I think that was when Lubo scored, if I'm correct. Lubo scored 2 that day, if I'm correct. In 2001 to 02, we won 2-0. We drew 1-1, and then we lost the League Cup semi-final. We all remember John Hartson getting robbed that day. It wasn't even offside. 2002, we got 2002 at Ibrox. No, the League Cup semi-final. That wasn't at Ibrox. What? Chat GBT's line. That's at Hampden, that was. 2002, 2003, we lost 3-2. And then we won 2-1. And then 2003, 4, we won 1-0. And then we won 2-1. 2005, 2004 and 5, we lost 2-0. We won 2-1. And we lost 2-1 in the League Cup. Strange stuff. Love the beach balls. The sombreros as well. Beach ball Sunday. Trying to open memory lane for you folks. Beach ball Sunday. Good times. And actually, I'm going to root that out. I am. Aberdeen's last manager done the business at the start, but the Motherwell manager has been consistent, 100%. Been consistent, and he did deserve the respect. Motherwell, they've been really good. It was hilarious. Let's just get the pictures of Beach Ball Sunday. My auntie Gillian was at that game at Ibrox, the beach ball Sunday one. And the clips of them going around. Oh, yeah. Let's click into this. This will give you a good memory lane, folks. George says if Martin O'Neill plays cash versus Michael and goal, Celtic won't win the game on Sunday. I agree with you, George. I completely agree with you. Casper shouldn't be playing. Look. I'll put this on for a second, folks, because I can't put it on for long because of copyright infringements and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna show you this. Let's see. I'll just mute that because look at Beach Ball Sunday. Beach Ball Sunday. They're raging. Oh, good times. Look at Stillion. Look at Stillion patch off. What a man. Oh, God. Let's Paul pull up. 2026 Celtic Fan Media Awards. I won't be on that anyway. I need to have a chat with Paul. Another one from Paul. He's a good YouTube channel. On Sundays, you'll get rattled. Get over, will you, Hulk Hogan, will you? Get the boat, will you? We'll see on Sunday, buds. We'll see on Sunday. Anyways, folks, I'm going to jump off. I appreciate talking to you all. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. And please subscribe to the channel. I'll be back on tomorrow night. Might have a whiskey for the preview. Get all rolled up for it as well. See you and Keir and Staunton. God, thought I put you on the timeout. Thanks very much. I really appreciate it. See you all tomorrow, folks. Hell.